What up, everybody? What's poppin'? It's your boy AD, and that's all day. I'm in the spot. Good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you're at. Coming in to do a little real talk video, talking about jobs and markets and talk about money for a little minute and housing and stuff like that. Just giving my little thoughts and opinions on what's going on and, how things really are in today's world and in today's society. What's going on, Silver Sun? What's happening? Silver Sun said, my job pays the bills and gets me out of the house. Sometimes I have fun taking my mind off of other tasks when I'm at work. Other than that, I can't stand it. I feel you. I feel you. We got a lot of hardworking people, working class people, and that's what it's about. That's the main reason why people do work, is because you got to pay bills, you got to eat, you need things for yourself, But the messed up part about it is that everything is kind of not like turning out like how it was supposed to be, like with an American dream, right? The American dream was to have a good, decent job or an income and be able to afford a home and everything that you need for yourself and your family and be able to live a good, at least normal life, But as you can see in today's world, that's just further and further away from reality when you really look at it, especially when it comes to all the different things that's been happening over the years and then mixed on top of what has actually happened with the finances and the money. What's up, Raven? Raven said money makes the world go round. Yes, it do, right? Money pretty much is the reason why everything is the way it is, honestly. That's just how it goes, man. And it's sad because it should be more about the people and what people really need and want to do. But as you can see, it's more about capitalism and who got the most money and who can, run shit. What up, the House of Chayton? What's going on? What's popping? Money helps with buying some great weed. Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Right. You gotta have some money to get some good green. Hell no. Who like a job working for people? I know, right? And that's what it's really much becoming, right? It's pretty much becoming like 90% of the population is like the working class barely getting by, while they're like the 10% is just the richer than the rich while owning everything and controlling everything. That 10% of people is getting all the 90% of people basically to work for them, you know And it's just crazy how fast, just not even in a lifetime, how quickly things change. Just like I always talk about with like the music and stuff. Raven said money and power are the most important things in this modern world. Yep. And that's what it's really all about. Everything is about, oh, can I make $1 off of it, or can I make money off of it? I mean, even when it comes to some of our laws and what goes on, it tends to be just about money and making other people profits, really, instead of really caring about the average worker or maybe the average business person who wants to try to, hold some finances for themselves. What up, Dre? You say, hey, I'm hearing all these facts. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Mr. Go say, I got a job that's watching my niece for a few hours. I get paid decently well. Well, hey, that's a little hustle. You know what I'm saying? Hey, at least you're getting paid something, right? Sure. And there's people out here that be babysitting kids and stuff and don't be getting nothing. It's okay, like, if like I just don't like when people try to take advantage. Like, it's okay, if you want to spend time with your fam and stuff, just make sure that those people are doing something right, because that'd be irritating when people be doing that. Then they be acting like they supposed to get free babysitters. The House of Chayton said, I enjoy my job, just not the people sometimes. Well, that's cool. That's cool. It's always good to hear someone that enjoys their job. I see 56. I'm looking at the poll right now. 56% says yes. Did they say yeah? Let me see. Yeah. No, it says no. Oh, shit. The more money you have, the more you will be able to get away with. Yeah, man. And that's true too. Just like when it comes to jail, right? You go to jail, if you got money, you can get right out. Even though sometimes they'll take your bail fully out. But you see, oh, I go to jail, I can just pay to get out. But one thing I want to touch on though is just like the averages of the jobs. Like the money we make today on average from jobs is no different than what it really was 30 years ago, 20 years ago. And that's the sad part about it. Like back when our parents grew up, they can have a job that paid maybe $7, $8 on average and still be able to afford most things, or at least take care of themselves a little bit better, or have a higher chance of actually buying a home. Because like I said, isn't that a part of the American dream as well, to buy a home? But look at the prices of housing today. And I don't even get me started about how people lock down homes like Monopoly and only sell it to certain people. But look at just the price and the value of homes, man. It's like, especially if you want to be in good neighborhoods or something, you don't really need a lot of money. Shit, it takes a lot of money just to own a home in a decent, okay spot. But the question is, how can we own these homes when the average job or the okay job is not covering what it used to? That doesn't make any sense to me, that we're literally on average slightly making a little bit more than what we were 20 years ago, but everything has gone up. Everything has gone up in that 20, 30 years. Everything has gone up. We got inflation, the housing crisis. We had CV. CV didn't do nothing but make everything worse too. All that did was just shut people's businesses down, making people lose more money and not be able to pay their things, while the rich stay rich. I mean, during that whole time of CV, the rich stayed rich. They never really lost anything, really. They didn't lose nothing. And it's sad to see them be like, yeah, you can make it too, you can work too, you can do it too, when in reality a lot of them never really did any of that. A lot of them just used the fact of work. As you can see, when you work nowadays, it's not, this is why I kind of like the old days a little bit more, but nowadays it's really just about the dollar. Like it really is just about, oh, can this company make more money? It's not so much about the employees, you know. And that's the sad part about it, because we need to eat, we need to live, we got to feed our families. But if we say no to work, then we won't be able to do any of those things. But if we go to work, we have to deal with people who are basically running and controlling everything about your aspect of money, and just trying their best to get the least amount of hours at you, but get the most amount of profit. Straight up. Mr. Gold said 100, 200 for now, 300, 400 in the future, possibly. Oh, well, that's not bad, actually. That's decent. That's pretty decent, actually. That's what's up. I would rather live in the hood than around of a bunch of Karens and Kevins. No, thank you. That's funny as hell. That's funny. But yeah, man, you got all cuz, man, you know how it is, man. You got to be careful where you live. You got to make sure you live in a spot where at least people are relatable in some kind of way, you know. You really don't want to move around prejudice because then all that'll do is just bring you just a whole bunch of issues and stuff that you don't really want to deal with. But yeah, you got the food inflation going on, going crazy. Housing going crazy. Remember, gas went crazy, went nuts. You know what I'm saying? All of this happened. Meanwhile, the paycheck never goes up. The paycheck never goes up. But if you look at a lot of these big corporations, which are pretty much buying up everything and trying to own everything, like Disney, you'll clearly see that a lot of their profits have actually been rising. So the rich, like I said, are clearly getting richer, but the poor are clearly just staying poor and they're not making more money. So where is this really going? Because that's what it really is starting to be. And I see a lot of younger folks starting to wake up to this. The younger people I'm kind of happy with because I see they're starting to wake up to this because they've been sold something about their futures, about this country we live in, but none of it is really turning out what it's supposed to be. I mean, even think about college. Look how much college costs now compared to what it used to be. 20, 30 years ago, college was like half the price. An average cost for college was literally like half or less than half of what it is today. And that's supposed to be your gateway to get more money. But look at today, you got to spend like $60,000, $70,000 just to go to an average college. And you ain't even started life yet. And you got a normal ass job. More than likely, by the time you come out of college, you're already gonna be in debt. But the people of the past had a better chance of paying off their college debt. See what I'm saying? See, something isn't right going on, but the rich aren't getting broker. They're not struggling. They might tell you there's problems and this and that, but you don't see it. You don't see it. It's just a whole bunch of rich people dictating our lives while we try our best to work to achieve something. And I mean, you can't say that it's people who work their whole lives and try to get something and still ain't never owned a home, bought a home. You know? And in the way the job market is set up, even if everybody wanted to work extremely hard to get a job and do everything right to get a job, there's still going to be people at the end of the day who don't have a job. Even if everyone just stood up and was like, yeah, I want to go to work. I want to go to work. We know that it's still going to be hella mugs who are not going to get those jobs. People will be tweaking these days. Yeah, they do. People be tweaking these days. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. The government are giving money to niggas overseas. But man, the government does a lot of things, right? They're always talking about, oh, we don't have money for this whenever it's something important. But then you see money get blown in all these other areas. Just like celebrities, they're always quick to point out how much money a celebrity spends or how much they blew, but they don't never really tell you how much these politicians or like run through. Like they're really that conservative is what they try to make you believe that they are. Most people are not frugal, period. So it makes us think that these people are not spending over excess large amounts of money. And then on top of it, you're getting taxed on top of it. You're getting taxed. So that just really fucks people up. You literally got to pay taxes on everything. And when you work, that's just more tax that they take from you when it's already hard as it is. Like I said, how are you supposed to make it in today's world when everything tripled and doubled and tripled, but nothing went up with the jobs? Like when it comes to inflation and everything going on, and if you equivalent inflation and to everything that's happening, you are literally slightly making more than 20, 30 years ago. And that is no joke. But these companies are getting richer. Look at Walmart. Walmart running around talking about they closing their stores, but in 2022 they clearly made more profits. They made extremes amount of profits. And then look at all the people now who got to work through Walmart, and now they're like, "Oh, we'll close these stores here because we're not making enough profits." You see, just like when they was closing the stores in certain areas, they were doing it in so-called non-profitable areas. Instead of maybe trying to fix the problem, let's just close it so we can go make some money somewhere else. And then we don't care about all those many workers who lost their jobs. That's good to hear, Silver Sun. You know, that's why it's just something to really look at for us as a society. Like, are they really caring about us and our money and our futures? It don't seem like it to me. It seems like now, like, even when it comes to the American dream, even when it comes to movies and stuff, notice that the movies and the stuff we get nowadays ain't nothing from what it used to be. Notice that a lot of the movies and stuff we see be worlds of end, worlds of just fucked upness. Like, anytime they show something in the future, it don't never really show a bright future anymore. Is it because they want us to be in custom? Because that's what I feel like schooling is all about. That's what I feel like college is really all about. It's just to, like I always say, make you a pen pusher. It's to turn you into a work slave, to where you just stay slaving your time for someone else who's going to be making way more profit than you, and not even have to work as hard as you, or maybe even not even step on to the area where you work at. It's some people that make guap on top of guap and never even stepped into the areas that they own or run. But meanwhile, you got to make sure as a human being you be there on time. Otherwise, you just might get replaced, because everybody else, it's like we're all taking each other down just to get crumbs from the table. You know what I'm saying? We're all fighting each other for crumbs, basically. And in today's world, you really do got to have like multiple types of income, man. You really do. And a job is something that really isn't working anymore for a lot of people. And it's been doing this. I mean, just thinking about the new generation coming up, the youngest coming up, that's 18, 19, 20, that's alone and trying to make it in this world on their own and trying to work. Like, how in the world they gonna be able to afford everything like that? How in the world they gonna be able to get into a nice place or do any of this stuff and make sure you got food on the table and pay your bills, when the average job, again, they don't even want to give you overtime anymore? I remember years ago, mugs used to get overtime and get paid double overtime like crazy. Even I used to do that with Pacific Jobs. I used to purposely work overtime just to get the extra money. Now these jobs want to make sure the head that you don't get that. Now these jobs want to try to keep as many least employees in there running, but make them do the most work to get the most profit. If people really made the money that they really make from a company that they profit from, I'm telling you right now, paychecks would be way more. Like, for example, like Walmart. Look at most Walmart employees. We know damn well a lot of them don't get paid that much. We know they don't. But Walmart makes how much money? So just imagine if their employees made more of an equivalent of the funds that Walmart actually made. Shit, Walmart employees would be damn near riding Jaguars, right? I mean, McDonald's is the same way. A very huge, giant company, corporation makes hella money. Hella money. That's why CV was so crazy, because when CV happened, it really just shut down normal businesses and people normal ways of making money. It's like all the big shit never really stopped. It never really did, and they study made money. And it was a real slap in the face when you really think about it, when you seen your politicians come out and tell you to stay at home and tell you not to go out, while meanwhile they're clearly outside, clearly doing whatever they want to do and not even wearing masks. I remember when it was happening, they weren't even wearing masks most of the time, but telling you to do it. I remember when it was happening, they were telling you to stay at home, meanwhile not being in their homes. I totally remember that. And that should have been a wake-up call to our society. They don't really care about the working class. All they care about is the rich. And that's why the rich is trying to buy up everything as it is, because it's just more control. Imagine living a life like that, right? Where you're just so rich and powerful, you don't really have to do anything, and the money just comes in like truckloads, and you can blow it like whatever, and still comes in like truckloads. You don't have to worry about certain other things like that. Just think about that type of lifestyle, but you ain't even really working hard or nothing. Like, come on now. But the hardworking people are the ones who's obviously suffering the most in today's time. What's up, Brandon? What's going on, bro? He said, "What's good, brother Money? It's all a short-term gain. Even the managers are miserable. So how would it be profitable for you? Got to put your eggs in separate baskets." I agree. I agree. Even the managers are miserable, right? Have you ever been to work and you seen your manager miserable as hell? Like, oh man, that's how you know it's bad. You see the manager acting all fucked up. Like, hold on, wait, man, you the manager. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you over there really got the hard work. Meanwhile, you really over there grinding it out like no other. But that's very true. Everything has shot up. And then they're trying to bring AI in to try to get rid of the cost for the workers and the wage. Like, look how healthcare is in this country. Look how everything you buy and need is extremely expensive. Extremely expensive. And look how if you can't pay that stuff, you will be in debt just for your health. Just for your health. This is real, you know? And then again, I mean, look at all the stuff. Look how many financial crises this generation has gone through. Ever since 9/11, look at all the messed up financial things that's happened in the past 20 years. And like I said, CV just didn't help it at all. That didn't help it any either. That made everything even worse. Home values skyrocketing, food skyrocketing, everything going up, gas going up, all the important things you need going up. And they're surely quick to tell you that on the news too, right? On the news, they are quick to tell you on how stuff is rising and this and that, but they ain't surely quick to tell you how it's gonna get better or how something's gonna change. But they gonna tell you how it keep rising while they keep showing you all these millionaires and billionaires living the big city life, while we gotta sit here and worry about how we gonna pay bills and if we can even own a home or not. The average human being don't want to put funds into actual real helpful things. Just keep society at a low level so they can forever work for us. Forever work for us. Forever. And never join the crowd of the rich and the powerful and the famous. Dre said we had so many financial setbacks, it's crazy. Yeah, just in the past 20. That's why I'm saying this is why the younger generation, I'm starting to see them wake up. Because the younger joint generation, they're starting to join. I mean, it was even hard when we was growing up. It wasn't easy. It wasn't that easy when we was growing up to get a job and still pay for shit. But today, it's even worse. It's definitely even worse than what it was when we was growing up. Today, the average job ain't just going, that check ain't gonna be cutting it like that today. You gotta, especially when you trying to take care of yourself. Like, it just ain't happening. But meanwhile, everything is going up. And meanwhile, they're still profiting. Why are we not hearing about these rich and these powerful and these big corporations? We don't hear about them losing money and stuff. When do you ever hear that? Oh, this person lost this much money. And I'm talking about real rich. This person, I ain't talking about some of these celebrities and stuff. Oh, this person lost this. You don't never hear that, but they surely talk about how the people is losing. I see it all the time on the news. They'll blatantly tell you, like, hey, 40 to 50% of people can't even get past a $400 surprise expense. I'll see them just put that there and just throw it right in your face because they know it's true. they know it's true that a lot of people cannot afford that. I mean, look at homelessness in America. Homelessness is becoming a very big problem in today's society. And look how the news never even talks about it. I mean, some of the most richest places in America, you drive down just a few miles and you'll see homeless camps. Make that make sense. Brandon said exactly. The media never hid the agenda from us. Most are just now catching on, shaking my head. Yeah. The younger generation is joining the workforce now. And they're like, man, is this what life is really about? This is what's happening to the younger generation. Man, I tried to go to college, but I can't afford it. I tried to get a decent job, but I still got to live at home with my parents. What am I supposed to do? And then you don't want to do nothing illegal because then that ain't going to do nothing but get you in trouble. So what are you supposed to do? Work more, spend more of your time working, more of your life hours working now, barely to get by, when people 20, 30, 40 years ago could work the same amount of time, if not less, and still be able to afford more? Yeah, the younger generation is definitely upset right now. And some of the millennials are too. Because they're like, this ain't adding up. Go to your average neighborhood and you telling me if I want to own a decent home in a decent neighborhood, you're telling me I'm going to have to spend like 60, 70, 80, 90, $100,000 and more? You tell me what jobs is paying that like that. And then on top of that, have more money besides that? Now, I'm not saying people don't have that type of cash. I'm not saying people out here don't got it, but I'm looking at things on a bigger scale. I'm looking at things on an average. Like overall, majority of the working people do not have that. Even if they are working class people, they don't have it. Like I said, this ain't the 1950s and 60s. This ain't that no more, where you can go to work and come home and be able to take care of your family, then some, and still, and maybe buy a home and invest in a home and do all of that. Those days is gone. While society in America study tries to tell you that it's all right and that, oh, you can work hard, you can get it. Meanwhile, they know that all of that really isn't going to get you nowhere until you start working for yourself. Until you start working for yourself, that's when you can really, really start doing what you need to do. What up, True? He said, welcome to communism. And it's terrible. I mean, like I said, real beneficial things are not even being funded, but we could spend all of this other money in all other places. We could see people just blow money on stuff, but we can't afford healthcare. We can't afford healthcare. I seen on the news recently, they were talking about Social Security and talking about getting rid of that. And well, I know they've been talking about that for a while, but they're still talking about that to this day, talking about shorting Social Security and cutting benefits. Like they're going to keep cutting our corners while their corners keep increasing. You know? And then they always want you bickering and fighting with each other and coming at each other's throats and fighting each other over these crumbs, when in reality, we need each other. We all we got. If we don't have each other, then we gonna have a real tough time. Because a lot of times that's the only real time that things really make changes, just like in history. A lot of the biggest changes we've ever seen on this earth is because people came together and decided to do something. Instead of always just listening to the government dictating your life. Why they just stay extremely rich and powerful and just dictate what we do without even working as hard. But they'll sell you the ideas if they do. Dre said, that's what I'm thinking. Majority of people, especially us millennials working normal jobs, it's harder to get our homes and afford our health care, right? And then, like I said, and then the colleges being overblown and overinflated just don't make it even no better. Try going to a actual good college nowadays. Try to go to an actual good college. Watch how much money you gonna have to come up on, and you better hope and pray you actually can get a job into what you took. You went in for. Because a lot of jobs they're trying to outsource with AI and other things to try to keep their money coming in without having to try to give us money. As time continues, more and more jobs, particular certain jobs, are going to fade. They're going to fade to dust. Yo, money, drop the link for me. All right, I'll drop it for you real quick. Then how long am I on here? It's been 30 minutes. I'll drop it for you real quick. Chat up for a little minute. I'll probably only be on here for about another 5 to 10 minutes, but I want to hear what you got to say though, because this is a good topic. This is a good topic because this stuff is important. It definitely is important. Jobs try to take about 20 to 30% for healthcare is definitely needed because hospital bills are much more, but dang, yeah, just like a ride to, just like an ambulance trip, a normal ambulance trip will break your wallet. That'll break your wallet. What's going on, Kylie? How you doing? What's good? What's good? Dropping the link for Raven. Let's see what Raven won. We'll see what he got to say real quick. Got my little coffee, drinking my little coffee. I hope all y'all are having a good day. I mean, I know I'm talking about a lot of like bad things and negative things going on, but it's some positivity for me to say. But it's just more about the awareness, right? Like, I just want the awareness to be out there. I know we see it, but it's good to hear it. It's good to hear it and let it be known. Like, it's true. It's just really hard. And most people know it. We know it. We know it's tough. Good. I'm having a hard day yesterday and today. Whoa, what happened? I hope you're doing good. I hope you're all right, Kylie. Dre said hospital bills will put you in debt with no insurance. Right. That's why I always felt like that other stuff that was going on wasn't as serious as what they made it to be, because I mean, and then you see how it is. They want you forever on the type of drugs and all the stuff. Like, oh my gosh. And that's just another thing that takes out your paycheck too, besides the taxes that they're already going to take out of. That's why it's a good thing to have your health and be able to, and be healthy. Because, man, that stuff really can hurt you. Hell yeah, a beautiful 89 degrees here in Connecticut. Man, it's been hot all week. Like, we was having, out here in Chicago, we was having like 40s, 50s. And then it just jumped up to like 70s and 80s. And we've been having that all week now. Like, good hot one. Now, we ain't hit no 89 yet, though. We haven't hit that yet. Where you at, Raven? I would rather not talk about it. It's okay. It's all right, Kylie. Like, just you doing well. Oh, okay. Here you go.
What's good, my nigga? Money AD, what's good?
What up? What up? What's poppin',
What's
man?
up? How you
Chilling, bro.
been?
Man, I'm doing. I'm doing good, bro. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to come out here and talk about, the work environment and homes and
Which
just
is
talk
good
about the
shit.
real life things. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
How you been though? You been doing good?
Been chilling. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Good to see you, man, on this young Thursday. Thursday tip.
Thursday, yeah. Friday, tomorrow SmackDown.
Yeah, yeah. You
Hi,
know I'm gonna
Brandy.
check it out. Hmm?
I said, hi, Brand. I'm looking at what you wrote.
Yeah, we'll get to that positivity as what keeps our heads up. It's tough, but government wants us to give up under pressure, not happening. Right. You gotta keep your head up above this water, right? You gotta keep your
Yeah.
head up and you gotta work
Always got
together.
to keep your head up. Yeah, you always got to work together. And what people should be doing, but people don't do that because they're dumb as fuck.
I know, right? It's like, and that's the type of nature gets put out to us as a society. You know, the individualist nature that you can do it all by yourself, and it's all about you. When in reality, that's a very hard feat to overcome. You know, a lot of people who do have a lot what they got is because of other people. You know, we can't
Uh-huh.
always be at war with each other. You know.
Yeah, but people are so dumb. People are so brainwashed. They're so weak minded. They can't think for themselves.
I agree. I agree. And that's one of the biggest problems to me. You got to learn how to think for yourself. Think for if somebody tells you something, analyze it in your brain first, you know, and research it and really try to figure out if it's right or wrong or if it's beneficial to you or not. So like Raven, let me know, tell me like what's been going on in the job world. Like how's some of your experiences been?
Up and down. Like right now, I'm unemployed for right now, but other than that, like I had some good times at work, depending on who I work around and with.
Mm-hmm.
Like last year, I worked for about 6 months. At a good place I liked. But the good jobs never last.
Like
They
what was the
always
what was the longest time for like a good job?
that was the good job. 6 months. The other job I had I worked the longest was a year.
Mm-hmm.
That job was the worst job I worked at.
Wow, you know, I would. Oh yeah, that's cool, Kylie. I'll be mod on that. And yeah, that's another big thing about today's world as well. I didn't even really bring that one up, and that's job security. Job
Mhm.
security is not as big as what it used to be, right? Like back when our parents was growing up, they could be secure at a job, you know, more on a more average scale for like 15, 20 years. You know, nowadays, right?
Yeah,
How
that shit will never happen. Uh-huh.
Right. Like nowadays, how good is the average job security? Because right now we're dealing with, again, just it's more about how much these companies want to make than actually really caring for their employees.
And about people kissing ass and actually doing work.
Oh yeah, we definitely have that too. And you know what, that be at work too. You go to work and then you'll have other people who will try to get you into trouble or get you caught up so you could lose your job or so they can get a
Uh-huh.
position. I've definitely seen that before too. Um, I think when I used to work for telemarketing, because I had a couple of telemarketing jobs, but I think the first one I had, I think that happened because I was doing damn good at that job. But I think some people like kind of set me up or were just spreading certain rumors about me because I still don't under. Because when I asked them why I got fired, they never gave me a reason. They never gave me a reason. They was just like, "Oh, you got to go."
Yeah,
Like,
they
but
did that to me before our job. The same
I,
thing happened. Uh-huh.
and I wasn't doing bad because jobs like that are based on sales. And I had great sales. Even that day, the day I got fired, I had good sales. So it must have been something else. Somebody.
And a lot of these jobs are racist too. That's another thing, especially with us, black men trying to work at these places.
Yeah, that's very true too. As a black person, it's certain jobs that won't even hire you or let get certain positions just because you are black, or you'll have a lot less of a chance getting one. You know,
Yeah, because
that's
they just came in through the names and stuff. They think if this person might be black because their name and stuff like that too.
yeah. I heard about that. I heard about that, and people testing that with different names. Yup.
That used to happen with me with my original name, but my name now, people can't guess what race I am.
No, that's true.
Some of them think some people think I'm like a white girl or something most of the time. I mean, that's serious. They really think I'm a white girl with that name.
Wow. Hey, you know what, man? I would think that too. Like, you know, they'll be like, okay, damn, you know, your names are very important as well. That's very true when it comes to getting a job. What's up, Danny? He said, I've been with my company for 11 years working as a manager. I don't enjoy it, but try to make the best of it. That's great, man. I'm happy to
Gotta
hear.
do what you have to do.
I'm happy to hear that, there are people out there that are getting it and at least doing the best that they can. To stay true to myself, I started to find ways to make my real interests and passions part of my side hustle. And that's where it's really at right there. That side hustle and having a passion for it. That's why I say it's good to definitely get something on. Whatever you're good at and passionate about, definitely get into it and try to make some money for it, because it's a lot of things, man. Like, it's some things I got going on, but honestly I wanted to start getting into more physical type of stuff, or types of repair and stuff. I kind of want to get into that in my life, because certain things are gonna always need repair.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's hot as hell today, man. Damn, it definitely feel like
Yeah, that's probably where I'm at too. I'm in North Carolina.
shit. They talking about thunderstorms this Saturday, but it's been like this all week long. But damn, man. So it's just good to hear about this type of stuff, and like you said, a lot of people don't want to work together, but we got to work together and we got to try to do the best for one another to try to get to another level in this whole working environment, because it really is a classism. They're always talking about, oh, look at the wage gap between the men and the women, but they ain't never gonna talk about the rich and the poor wage gap and the other wage
But
gap.
the thing is too, if you see most of these places they hire more women than men now. So what's the point with that?
Yeah.
You know?
And yeah, and that was put in to try to destroy real growth and real building too. Because they already know that women spend more money than men.
The
So,
men. Hmm.
so if women got all the jobs, that's just more money in their pocket overall. While they know if men had the jobs, they know men have a higher chance of, saving
Saving it. Hmm.
or investing. Cause you ain't
That too.
lying about that, man. I know how it feels. I know how it feels to go into the job market and you really try to get a job, and then you walk in particular jobs and it's literally all women. Like, for example, like social workers. When do you ever see male social workers? That's like
Yeah,
that's like
I was going to school for that. Actually, it's funny you brought that up. Yeah, it was a lot of mostly women in there. We weren't very many men.
mm-hmm. Yeah, you never really see that. And it's a lot of other jobs like that as well, where it just be all women. Like, even when it comes to fast food, a lot of these fast food places, I swear, it just be all women working. And you might have like one dude working in there and he might be the cook or something. Not
Or
all
washing the dishes.
right, or he the dishwasher.
Yeah, I've seen that. Hmm.
It's been situations where I done went out and applied with jobs with other people. Like, you know how it used to be where you would go on job hunts with people because it used to be like a fun, cool thing to do. And I done seen
Uh-huh.
it. The women that get the jobs, but then I won't get the job. Like, it ain't nothing really much different. It ain't have nothing to do with education or background, really none of that a lot of the times. But it is what it is. Oh, another thing also I've been noticing is that they're starting to put more women in jobs that mostly men did. Like, for example, I'm starting to see a lot more women like doing construction work and truck driving.
Oh wow.
hmm I see women truck drivers a lot now, a lot. I still see the men, but I ain't even joking. And female construction workers, man. I like it's a trucking company not too far from where I stay. And even when you go and like they be, doing all types of stuff over there. But when you go look, you'll see it be like damn near half men, half women now over
Well,
there.
I'm not surprised because a lot of these women try to act hard nowadays, try like men.
Right. And that's not good because you gotta, be you, be yourself, be yourself. And a lot of women will use that against men, right? I got the good
Mhm.
job and you a bum, and never actually understand a person's real struggle, you know? Like I said, you could be one of the best people in the world and put all your, and get on all your P's and Q's. That don't mean you gonna necessarily get the job though.
True.
It's not guaranteed to nobody. The only people that work is guaranteed to are the people that own it, and the people that they putting on, family or whoever, and even them, some of them people ain't guaranteed. So it's very important. to definitely get a side hustle, get something that you're passionate in, and try to put a lot of time into that. And stay determined, man. Stay determined, because if we people can just have more of a focus on reality, and then that's why every time you see it, man, like, don't you, every time you see some type of peaceful protest or something, here they go, here come all the police or something trying to break it up and get rid of it, that like always
Yeah.
happens. And then they always try to use the excuse of provocateurs, and for all we know, they could be paying people off just to start some stuff, just so the people keep looking bad. You see it every time people come together, they always trying to make us look bad. What's up, word of the
Yeah.
day?
That's what the popo do. They pay people off in the government.
Right. Sometimes it can actually be a peaceful protest. But then here comes some paid provocateur stirring things up, riling things up,
And
and
it
it's
could be
hard.
white people that do it too, that they have, causing the violence and stuff.
Oh yeah, that could definitely happen too.
That's what they usually do. Only race, black people be the one called the disturbances.
Because that's a shame how they'll do that, and then act like, oh, so it makes you really wonder, as a civilian, how much freedom do you really have? How much control do you really have over your life? And how much power and control do you really have over your money and your
The
income?
only time you have freedom is when you have, the most money possible. The more money you have, the more freedom you have in this world.
Yeah. And isn't it sad also how they pretty much brainwash majority of people to only care about if you have money or not, while we're in a struggling society? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, most people are now programmed to only care or want to think about those who have more than them. Like, that's messed
Hmm.
up. You know how it is, especially as a man. Just imagine your average man who's, let's say, in their late 20s, 30s, and let's say that man doesn't have a job and doesn't have no money or doesn't have like a good income. Ain't nobody gonna care about that guy. Majority
And
of
they call you a
society,
bum and lazy and all the other negative stuff you could think of.
yeah, majority of society will look down upon him.
Oh, get a job. That was the only thing he was gonna say. Like, how you gonna get a job when people don't give you a job?
That's right. Danny Truth said most legit jobs are tied to corporate America, and the higher you move up the ladder in corporate America, the less black it gets. We have to manipulate the game for our own gain, and that's true. The higher you climb up that ladder, that is very true. The less black it gets. That's why. That's why, as a black person, you really do gotta really try extremely hard. I mean, everybody gotta try hard, but there's definitely things that are definitely trying to hold black people from getting those great jobs as
Good
well.
jobs. Uh-huh.
Those great positions. That's why it's good to try to get your own and work for yourself. But even if you got to start small with a job, just try your best to save and live below your means, to maybe one day you really can have something. That's another one too. Try your best to live below your means, and that can help you gain more money as well too. Because I've seen
Hmm.
people that work their whole life, but they always lived above their means.
Yeah,
So
they try to be flashy, try to, be up in the class with the higher rich people and stuff, so they make
yeah,
themselves feel better.
yeah. Just like with these cars, it seemed like in today's society, it seems like more people care about having a leased car and showing off in a leased car that they know they don't own than actually owning a home. Sad world we live in, man, when it comes to people's mindsets about money and economy and about what you can really afford. We already know most people cannot afford these 20, 30,000, $40,000 cars, but it's mighty strange that everybody's riding them. And
Yeah,
even in the poor broke communities, damn near everybody's riding them. Ain't that something?
yeah. BMW, Lamborghini, Mercedes.
Right?
Yeah,
And now it's getting hot, so now you're finna see everybody on their motorcycles. But those are more affordable though. More motorcycles are definitely more affordable. You said find a way to come up in the system and move into our own lane. Once we get that security, it's a real life monopoly board. Even the money has about the same amount of worth as Monopoly money in reality. And that's one of the main reasons why I use that picture in that background, because the money really isn't real. It really isn't real.
You can't
You
take it
know,
with you when you die. So, yeah,
it
to each
reminds
their own.
me of that one movie with Johnny Depp. That's one of my favorite movies from him too. Blow. And I remember in that movie his
Blow.
father. Yeah, Blow. You ever seen Blow?
That sounds suspect. To be honest, no. What's that about?
It's a movie about drugs, bro. It's a movie
Oh,
about drugs.
well, my type of thing. Okay.
It's a great movie too. I would give that movie, man, 5 stars. I probably would, because it's all about, in that movie, his
The
father.
hustling in the streets.
Yeah, because it was about Johnny Depp starting, the same thing, kind of like what we're talking about. He tried to go to college. He tried to do work. He wasn't getting no money. So he started selling weed when he was in college back in the 80s
Hmm.
and shit. And he started booming. He started making big, big money, which made
Hey,
him,
what year did that movie come out in?
um, was it late 90s? It was either late 90s or early 2000s.
They should have it on YouTube. Probably be able to watch on here. I'll probably check out this live stream.
Oh yeah, I got it on DVD. And basically he ended up moving into like dope and coke and escalated.
Hmm.
And his father was a hardworking man. He was a hardworking man. That's how his father made his living. So it's kind of like what we're saying. His father knew what he was doing, and he always told him that the money wasn't real. He tried to let him know that money is not what you think it is. And I don't want to spoil everything, but that was a very important part as well in that movie, because it isn't. I mean, you could clearly see they could just print it out of thin air, and we already know. Everybody knows that's what they do. Well, I mean, we know the Federal Reserve exists.
Well,
You
paper money won't matter anyways, because they try to make everything digital now. So, yeah.
I agree. I agree. Yeah. Word of the day. Penelope Cruz was in that movie too. Yep. That was his wife in the movie. You said you like Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman. I like that movie too, man. Lean on Me. I like that movie. I haven't seen
Lean
it.
on me.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a minute though. It's been
I
a
never
minute.
watched that movie.
It's a great movie. Now that movie came out in the 80s. Yeah, that's 80s.
Yeah, that's probably a reason why.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman. But yeah, man, thanks Raven though for coming up. I see we almost in the hour mark, so I think we done had a good amount of time on here and whatnot. I see my homie Brandon just popped in, dang, and I was just finna
Brandon
leave.
Anderson.
My other homeboy Brandon. I'll let him come in real quick and say we gotta say real quick. What's up, Brandon?
Hey, what's going on, brother? No, long time no talk to. I had to come in and check in. You feel me?
Yeah, man. Good to hear from you, bro. Good to hear from you.
Definitely, definitely. How's things out in Chicago?
It's good. It's getting hot. It's getting hot,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
all right. We trying to get by. You know how
Yeah.
it is, man.
Now I hear that. Same here. It's supposed to be today. It's a nice 88 degrees, 89, but tomorrow's gonna be 94, and that's like the hottest it's ever been here in Connecticut. So
Damn, that's
Damn,
not a
up
record.
there.
yeah, yeah. I'm surprised too, Raven. I'm like, oh shit, but it's what it is.
I agree. Well, I agree. Word of the day. And what's up, Hidden? So anything, y'all? Here y'all go. I was just saying. Now here come. I was just finna leave. Now here come. Is that Eric trying to get in? I don't know about letting you in, bro, because you
Uh,
might try to ruin the conversation.
uh-oh.
But but
You talking about
yeah.
that those tall woman?
But yeah, I want to hear from Brandon real quick because I'm sorry, y'all. I am finna get out of here soon. But well, tell us a little something about what's been going on in the job world or how you feel about this.
Yeah, I'm about to get out of here too. I got things to do. That's why I want to check in right quick. Basically, and Raven did touch on that a little bit. He's saying, yeah, it's become a rising number of females at these jobs now, which I don't have a problem with. But I notice it's become more of a entitlement thing when you just pick, certain people like females or or certain race. And I've been seeing that. That's been prevalent for the last couple, I want to say a decade at least, probably more.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I understand that from a business perspective, we're all about these corporate companies are all about, trying to diversify and bring in, new ways of trying to keep the companies going. But at the same time, you can't reinvent the wheel. You got to go with the equation and formula that you had, that you always had. You feel me? Because
Right.
I work for a big corporate company, UPS. That's like the biggest. We're the biggest parcel service in the whole world, and
Mm-hmm.
I've seen, people lose their jobs because either they didn't make their quotas, racism, being colored, being black, having a disability, even though they said they had a disability, but they kind of wanted to go in a new direction. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's not about so much being fair. That's just the way, that's just the glass eye that these managers and these CEOs see through now. And, it sucks, but hey, you just gotta um, work through it. And before I go, I want to say this about money. About money, but not you money, but the actual money.
Mm-hmm.
Money is just a tool. I learned that from my grandfather. He said one day we were sitting outside at a cookout, we're in the lawn chairs. He said, "Son, money is just a tool. It's nothing more than that. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And there's different ways you could use it, different ways you could obtain it. And what has happened, and you spoke on it earlier, is that money isn't always everything because we as humans, we made it to something is not. We sold out our friends and family just to get that dollar bill. We turned into, the backstabbers and liars off of that, off of something you could easily print. I could easily go print out some money right now if I wanted to. You feel me? So
Right.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's just like yeah, it's we the people. It has nothing to do. The money itself. If you leave money on a table, it won't harm or do nothing to nobody. But because, like I said, it's a tool. Just like if you have a monkey wrench, you can do whatever that monkey wrench. You could fix something, tighten up something. But it's how you use it. Now, if you use it as a weapon and hurt somebody, that's when things take a turn. And that's exactly what money. If as long as you try to find a way, like I say, as long as you don't try to kill yourself, work like triple overtime, and then you come home, you tired, you have no time for your girlfriend or your kids or
Mm-hmm.
what have you. That's when the problem arises, and that's the problem with corporate America. They turned us into robots, just using us as slaves, all for the dollar bill, and it sucks. But
I agree, man. I agree, Brandon. And thanks, bro. Thanks for coming through. You too, Raven. I
yeah, man.
appreciate it, man. Because this is good,
uh,
good information.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing. I gotta, do some work right quick if I go to work. But yeah, it's good talking to y'all brothers, man. Salute.
All
all
right,
right.
bro.
Thank you, Brandon.
Peace out, man.
Yep.
Peace.
All right, Raven. Anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Thank you for letting me on. I haven't talked to you for a while, well, a week or two.
For sure. For sure,
Yeah.
bro. Good to see you. It's always a good time to chat it up with my homeboy Raven, especially on the wrestling tip. I might do a live stream tomorrow. I might. It's SmackDown. It's a little earlier, so we will
I
definitely.
think SmackDown's gonna be terrible anyway, so it don't really matter.
I know, right? It's like how much am I willing to put up with? I
Sami
feel
Zayn main eventing almost every single week.
oh right, or Kevin Owens or Solo.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, Raven. I appreciate it, man. And I'll holler at you on the later tip, bro.
Yeah. Peace out, money. Bye.
All right. All right. Let's just see real quick. Is he gonna say anything good? Because if not, let's see if he can just throw anything good. Let's see.
Hey, hey, what's up? What's up?
Hold on. This Gino?
What's up, man? I'm just living the life, right?
Is that Eric or is that
You
Gino?
know, I'm
Ah,
I'm trying to
oh hell nah, dude. You clicking too much, bro. I hear you over there clicking. Nope. He was just clicking, y'all, and he was put. I heard him in the background clicking. He sounded like he was in the middle of something. You could hear it in his voice. Oh man. All right, y'all. Have a good one. I'll see you guys later. Take care.